Hello and welcome to a Chip Off the Old Block Toys, or welcome back if you're a returning viewer. Today we're going to do the last set that I have. Well, I have all five of the Bricklink Designer Series 3. And it's very important we finish this as soon as possible. I'm getting Designer 4, Series 4, tomorrow, all five of them. And we just want to start those as soon as possible. As the old saying is, out with the old and in with the new. So we're going to build this guy. It's set number 910039. And this thing has a total of 2,615 pieces and 7 minifigures. I almost said 2,615 minifigures. Now, that would be quite the feat if we ever got that many. Anyway, I just wanted to tell you guys, if you watched my live stream earlier, I am going to repeat some items because I know a lot of people cannot. Yeah. No, I'm not done yet. This is it, Yeti. How are you doing this evening, man? I will be repeating some of the stuff I said earlier just because I know everyone can't attend every single thing. And plus, I don't have enough to talk about to fill a whole other live stream. My life's not that complicated. Anyway. So I've got some semi-news. I heard that, I'm not going to say too much because I don't know who listens to my streams, but there's another job opportunity, and I applied for it. So I do have a job that I start on Tuesday. This other job is better. We'll just put it that way. So we'll leave it at that. I'm just tired of getting done cutting grass. I've been up early. How much grass do you have to mow? Is it like half an acre, an acre? Like how much, man? Size does matter. I need to cut my grass, but oh man. I mean, you're probably going to laugh at me for saying this, but it's just too hot during the day to do it. So I need to get up early one day and just do it. Oh, I didn't realize I didn't have those. Let's put those on there. Half an acre and hot Louisiana is like cutting 300 acres. I don't doubt it, bro. Mad respect for you. Half an acre is a lot, especially if you're using like a push mower, which I don't know. Are you using a push mower, riding lawnmower? What you got? Or do you got one of them old ones like when I was a kid when you pushed it, the blade spun and it was hand powered? Well, today's Sunday, which means a new batch of News of the Weird came out. And I've read through them all. And I'm going to read the best ones because I think they're hilarious. And let's see. He says, well, I got up early to go to church, and then after church, we went to pick up one of the new sets. I just bought the Sherlock. Oh, that's awesome. Yeah, that's definitely one I want to get, too. I like how it's like a little book, little thing. And hello, Miss Chip. All right, let's move to the first story. And slide this over so I can keep building. All right, here we go. Okay, this one, the title is Wait, What? And yes, this story, when I was reading it, people are crazy in this world. And if this doesn't show you people are crazy, I don't know what will. Okay, a 42-year-old man contacted Beverly Hills, Texas police chief on June 13th about a package he'd received from his ex-girlfriend. Okay. Kind of sounds eerie already. Inside was a copy of a marriage certificate indicating that the man was married to her. But he told the police chief that while he had been in a relationship with the woman named Christy Spearman, 36 of Waco, Texas, or Waco, Texas, in this case, they had broke up before they got married. Okay, well, then it shouldn't be valid, right? However, after investigating, the police chief Martin determined that Spearman had convinced a pastor to certify the marriage certificate without the groom present, and then he filed the certificate at the county clerk's office. Martin said he researched the law and found out only one scenario that allows for an absentee spouse-to-be, and that's an active military overseas unable to make it. And even then, you still have to have a proxy stand-in. So, in this case, the groom should have been there. His girlfriend Spearman was arrested for third-degree felony stalking and taken to jail. Wow, that is something else. I mean, like, how the heck do you, like, how the heck are you not married but married? Oh man, that is in freaking insane. I think that's how Mrs. Chip married me, though. To be honest, no, she did not. I was more than willing to marry Miss Chip. Hello, Rocky. How you doing? And Cajun Yeti says, "Ah, hell no," or "Wow, hell no." Close enough. Yeah, man. I mean, geez. Talk about being demented to the nth degree there. I don't know, man. That's some. Maybe she should have been checked into a mental facility. Who the heck does that? And why the heck would the pastor go along with it, man? I think there's a lot there to be unpackaged. Way more than I want to deal with. But on this channel, we don't talk about packages. Right, Yeti? All right. Anyway, sorry. I shouldn't say that. That's kind of cold. All right. Well, let's see. What else do we have here? We've got another story. Let's get to it. Thanks, brother. What got you to buy the set? Honestly, I don't have a good answer for that. I have a policy. It's called No Lego Left Behind. And, well, I felt bad for this Lego set, and I felt like it'd be cold and lonely if I didn't buy it. And so I did that. Well, that's plagiarism at a different level, bro. Do you know what kind of psychotic person you'd have to be to do something like that only on Tuesday? Okay, just finished building all of the latest Lord of the Rings sets back to back. That's awesome, dude. I do like Lord of the Rings. I do have a lot of the earlier sets, but I'll be honest here lately, my set buying has decreased quite a bit. I'm mostly focusing on my city, which this has nothing to do with my city, but I already bought it anyway, so I might as well do a live stream on it. And the Designer Series 4 sets, I ordered one of each, so I have all 5. According to the tracking, it should be here tomorrow. So I'm trying to get this done. And if I get this done, tomorrow we will start the live streams for those. And I'm pretty sure I'm going to start with the Castle Transylvania, I think it is. I think that's the one that's coming out, isn't it? Let me double check that because I don't remember what's coming out. I think, yeah, I don't know. Let me just check. I don't want to put my foot in my mouth here. I do that enough without even trying. No, it is not the Hotel Transylvania coming out. It's the, oh, I'm sorry. Let me switch screens so you guys can see this. Okay, so these are the ones coming out. We've got the Merchant Boat, Wild West Train, Medieval Seaside Market, the Siege Encampment, and Riverside Scholars. So I think I'll probably, I don't know if it'll be the train or the Medieval Seaside Market. I don't know. We'll see, because I like them both. And anyway, we'll get to it. That's for sure. And Mrs. Chip says, no Lego Left Behind is true. Yes, it is. Indeed. With Mr. Chip, that is 100% accurate. I give a good home to all of them. They say you can't save every puppy in the pound, but with Lego, I will die trying. All right, let's get to another News of the Weird story. All right. This is some insane shiznit. Okay. Saw that coming, this one's called. I gotta admit, okay, let me just read it, and I'll tell you what my first thoughts were after. Okay. In Madison, Wisconsin, the fire department, I'm sorry, I can't even read this with a straight face. Okay. The Madison, Wisconsin Fire Department responded to a boozy blaze on June 15th. Okay, well, let's see. Booze on fire. How'd that happen? Someone reported an oven fire around 6 p.m. The caller told firefighters that they had been cooking a turkey for about 8 minutes when the oven door blew open. Okay, all right, getting interesting. All right, let's see. They later learned that the turkey had been marinated in tequila, and they believe the accumulation vapors from the alcohol were not properly vented from the oven, which caused the fire. No one was hurt except the turkey. Well, boy, I don't know what to say about that. I can say that Mr. Chip was not paying attention, and I messed this up. Let me fix this real quick. There we go. So yes, word of advice: if you're going to marinate with alcohol, let it air out a little bit first. Or actually, better yet, why don't we just not marinate with alcohol? Probably the safer bet. So, okay. Bottom of Helm's Deep arrives on the 3rd. That is awesome. Yeah, have you seen that giant Lego setup with Lord of the Rings with the big old white castle from, I think that's the Battle from Middle Earth, if I remember right. It had something like over 100,000. It was huge. I don't know if you ever saw it. I think Brothers Bricks and Beyond the Brick did a little clip on that one. I'm pretty sure Beyond the Brick did, and I'm not 100% sure about Brothers Brick, but Beyond the Brick definitely did. Rocky says, I'm a huge fan. Going to be getting some of the older sets too. Yeah. Good luck on that. Bricklink is my favorite place to get them. You kind of have to look at a seller's reputation, just like you would anywhere else, to make sure that if they sell used sets, that if you're going to get them used, to make sure they have a good reputation, and make sure to my advice is I stay away from people who have very low feedback, because not always, but sometimes they can be scammers. But I have picked up a few used sets that way. Another way that I've picked up used sets for an okay price, not a great price, but okay, is going to Bricks and Minifigures. I was able to get the Olds Fishing Store from them just a couple weeks ago for $300. And I know that seems like a lot, but right now on Bricklink it's going for $350, and it was complete. So I have no complaints whatsoever from that. Boy. This set's a monster already. I do have more stories, and the art of chocolate does remind me of poop jokes. I know I'm immature. I have not aged mentally past the age of 12, and I'll admit that freely here. Okay, now that's kind of weird, because here I am at the end of this, and I've got leftover pieces that really shouldn't be left over, but I'm looking. Oh, there it goes. These other ones should be leftovers. They're small. All right, let's do another News of the Weird, shall we? Okay, news you can use. And this one's actually interesting because Mrs. Chip's parents, let's just say they live in the Cincinnati area. And this one took place in the Cincinnati area. And I've actually visited them many times. And yes, I think it's every 7 years, the cicadas come out, and they are annoying, these certain ones. Well, we got a story about that today. The Blue Ash, Ohio Police Department, okay, Blue Ash is a suburb of Cincinnati, is recommending that drivers in the area, quote, keep the windows up for the next several weeks, unquote, after a cicada caused a crash on June the 12th. Okay, all right. No one was hurt when the driver veered into a pole after a cicada flew into her car. The car ended up on its side, and the cicada made a clean getaway. Quote, these pesky cicadas don't respect personal space, the police said. A cicada attack can be dangerous. Okay. All right. I find cicadas annoying, don't get me wrong, but whew, you might want to taper that back a little bit. Age 14, Mr. Chip. Oh, okay, well, I'm getting credit for 1 more year. All right, I'll take 1 year. Instead of aging to the age of 12, it's 14 now. And Mrs. Chip should be the expert after all. She's married to me for 28 years, going on 29 years. I don't know if that makes her insanely patient or just insane. I'm not really sure. You'll have to judge for yourself. I can't throw that in there for you. Okay. So you guys might have seen my live streams for the Welch Festival. I have to admit, I did not go. I prepared for it, and unfortunately, I was so excited to go, I wasn't taking care of myself, and so the day of it, on Friday, I was so exhausted I couldn't go. I just couldn't. And so I had to get a hold of the organizer and tell him, hey, thanks for inviting me, but I just can't make it. I don't like doing that to people. I only did that because I literally showed up in the parking lot, and I couldn't do it, guys. I was sick because I was so tired. So there you have it. I just didn't go. I did make the Mountain Fortress and the Lion's Night Castle. So I did get something out of it. Those are built. And I also included the King's Castle from the late 80s, early 90s. And oh boy, I got something going on here. Let's see. Okay, well, gosh. Okay, well, Yeti sent me a News of the Weird. I'll share this. My goodness. I don't know what to say about this. What is wrong with people? Okay. So a teenager was arrested after he allegedly attacked a man with a toilet plunger, shoved it down the guy's throat, poured bleach on his wounds, and kidnapped his child. Holy crap. Talk about weird. Why the heck would... I don't know. Why would you attack somebody, first of all? Why would you use a toilet plunger as your weapon? I'm sure there's weapons that are far more efficient. Keep in mind, I'm not advocating that you attack anybody. I'm not saying that at all. I'm saying, God, that's bizarre. Like, why would you... I don't know. I don't even think the guy who did it knows. Can you imagine having a plunger shoved down your throat? That could really cause some damage. Dang, man. Hope the guy's okay, and hope the child's okay. My goodness, like, wow. Where did it take place? Hey, Ken, how you doing? Oh, man, it doesn't... It happened in Knox County, Tennessee. Wow. Well, I mean, I guess it could happen anywhere. The world's crazy enough anymore. I mean, I feel fairly safe where I'm at, out in the middle of nowhere, but I just know that that doesn't mean anything. I might feel safe where I'm at because I'm in a small town, but I mean, we've had stuff happen here occasionally. A few years back, we had a triple homicide, which it was the first homicide in like 40 years in this county. Oh, what was that? I just came across a news story. It said something about NATO. Oh, dang, I'll have to read that later. I do like covering current events that are more serious on my channel. However, I don't ever mean to like preach at people and tell them what's right, wrong, or be political about it. I like to focus more upon the human cost of whatever is going on. So keep that in mind, that when I discuss current events, I'm not trying to convince you of any sort of political leanings. I just want to talk about what happened and how it affects people individually, and I try to put myself in the shoes of the people that were involved. So anyway, I do have some more stories, and we'll get to those shortly. We're on bag number 3, by the way, if you're keeping track or want to keep track. Ken, how's the day off, man? And how things going in the auto parts industry? All right, I think it's time for another story. Let's bust out another story here. All right, this one's called "You Gotta Have a Hobby." I didn't say this was a good hobby. I'm just telling you. Okay. Samuel Lee Thomas, 72, of St. Petersburg, Florida, is a prolific 911 caller. All right, I smell the crazy already. Let's get into it. The smoking gun reported on June 16th. Okay. Oh, that was weird. It's in the story, but that doesn't make sense. Okay. All right, moving on. Just in the first 5 months of 2025, Thomas has called 911 3,400 times, bringing his 5-year total to 16,000 911 calls. Whew, my goodness. You think they want to nip that in the bud, but I think that's a full-grown bush at this point. I mean, what the heck, dude? 16,000 calls? Dang. Okay. All right. Let's move on to the rest of the story. His latest call involves what he said was somebody shooting an AR-15 rifle in the roadway. But when police arrived, they found a family having a barbecue and kids at play. Antoinette Peterson, 34, lives in the targeted home, has been the victim of his calls 647 times. Talk about nightmare of a neighbor and talk about stress. Oh my gosh. 647 times she's had 911 called on her? Yeah, what is wrong with this guy? Okay, all right, we got to keep going because the story keeps going. Thomas frequently stops in front of their residence to yell obscenities at her and her family, the police said. Okay. Sensing a bit of medication imbalance here. This time, Thomas was arrested for stalking and filing a false police report. He has pled not guilty and was released on only $1,500 in bond. That, to me, is why you have the problem. After calling that many times, on one family, let alone all the calls he's made, but targeting a family like that should be more than a $1,500 bond. I'm not trying to be political, but I think we're being way too soft on this guy, and I think the hammer needs to be thrown down. I mean, geez, 3,400 times in the first 5 months? Guy needs to find a freaking new hobby, man. And if I was that neighbor, I would be livid. I mean, what the heck? How do you sit there and do that? Hey, Italian Gaming, how you doing, man? How was work? I'm up here in my loft, and even though I have my portable AC going, I'm still baking a little bit. It's still a little warm up here, but I really can't say too much. At least I have AC. Because, I mean, shoot, there was a time when I first bought this house, I didn't have the window AC, so I am happy to have it. I do kind of wish that I could upgrade it to a bigger model, because this one is only meant for 250 square foot, and this loft is 530. So it does bring the temperature down some, but only some. It's still pretty warm up here at times. Mrs. Chip, how you been? All right. Work was all right. I dropped someone's order at the drive. Oh. So what happens when that happens? I mean, I don't imagine that your job gets you in trouble. I mean, that's going to happen once in a while, right? But I mean, are you? I imagine because it hit the floor or the ground that it has to be remade. But I don't know. Tell me, what happens? Oh, you work at Chick-fil-A. Well, I like Chick-fil-A. Okay, you redo the order and give them a card. Okay. That seems reasonable. Now, this only applies to McDonald's, but I heard a joke that at McDonald's, they have a lot of their drive-thrus have 2 windows, and it's been theorized that McDonald's especially should have a 3rd window where you can give back all the wrong crap they gave you. Okay. I do have another story for y'all. We shall get to that just in a second. Okay. Oh, yeah, helps if I put that on properly. Okay. Well, that's a... Okay, that's a weird setup. Okay, we are on bag number 4 for those that are counting. And he says, I live in Canada. Okay. I don't mean to get too personal, but I have had roommates that were from Canada, and that was in the college days. They lived in the town of Lethbridge in I think that's Saskatchewan, and I'm probably saying that wrong. But we used to play jokes on each other. We had a lot of fun. Yeah, I saw this chip. I can't share that one on here, but yeah, I saw that. But when I get into the police academy, I will quit Chick-fil-A. But I'm from Italy. Okay, you're from Italy originally. So again, I'm not trying to be too personal. So if I'm asking questions you're not comfortable answering, just say so. because I'm just, shooting the breeze here. Um, what brought you to Canada from Italy? Um, I've known some situations like a friend of mine growing up. His dad was a government contractor, and all of a sudden in high school, his dad got a contract. His company did, and they had to live in Israel for 2 years, and it was all due to the father's job. So, it's all relative. And you said I was trying to join the NYPD, but my visa was denied. Okay. I don't know too much about the visa process, so I'm kind of in the dark about that, how that works. How does it work? Okay. You're saying your visa got denied, so you headed over to Canada instead. Okay. So are you in the part of Canada they speak French, or the part speaks English? And I do have more stories, by the way, and I will get to it here in a second. In fact, let's just switch over and let's do this. Okay. Let's see. What is here? Okay. All right. We got some weird people here, so we gotta read their story. Can't leave them out. Okay. Jose Perez, 24, was charged with aggravated battery on June 14th in Salt Lake City, which, by the way, I am only about an hour and 20 minutes from Salt Lake City. So, kind of close to home, but not really. A little too close to home sometimes, I'd say. Especially what happened. All right. What happened, you ask? Oh, glad you asked. Let me tell you. Jose Perez, 24, was charged with aggravated battery on June 14th in Salt Lake City after he attacked the person he was having lunch with. Okay, not usually the thing that happens, but okay, stranger things. Not the show, the actions of this person. As the assault played out, the victim tried to escape numerous times, but Perez put him in a chokehold and produced a wooden stake with a nail in it, telling them that he thought they were a werewolf and he was going to pierce their heart. Okay, I think that whatever this man was doing, yeah. Okay, all right. He either had not enough, too much, or the wrong stuff. No, I'm just kidding. I don't believe in illicit substances, and if you know me, you know that's just a smart comment from me, and I really don't endorse that kind of stuff. I've had some good friends hurt themselves due to illicit substances, and they were in high school when they did it. But okay, what are we doing? Oh, okay, this is what we're doing. Okay, and we're also getting back to the story. Eventually, Perez ran off with the victim's backpack, which was recovered when the cops caught up to him. Police said Perez also had rocks in his pockets, which he carried out of fear the victim would attack him. He's been held without bail. Okay. See, now, again, not trying to be political, but honestly, that's what needs to happen more often. I mean, if you're going to attack people, yeah, you definitely, yeah. Goes without saying, right? All right, let's get this. The next story, I'll tell you in a bit. I liked it. Let's see. I'm in Newfoundland. Okay, actually, my wife has some family. They're distant family, but They live in Newfoundland, and I don't remember what part though. But anyway, good people. Um, it's on her mom's side. Um, I am American. My family has been here in the States for so long, even before it was United States. On my dad's side, we have ancestors that were been here since the 1600s. On my mom's side, they're only my grandparents immigrated here, so kind of a mix there, and a big mix, by the way. And thanks for stopping by, Italian Gaming. It was good to see you. Hopefully, we'll catch you on the next one. And if you got time, go back and watch this one. But if you don't have time, I totally get it. All right. So we got the art of chocolate going on. All right. I think it's time for yet another story. Mainly because this one, oh my gosh. My family's from Sicily. All right. Oh, cool. I actually know some people, well, distant. I went to college with the guy that his wife was from Sicily. But I don't know much more than that because I've lost contact with him over the years. Real funny guy, though. I did like him. He was a jokester. And I'll say his wife was really pretty, too. So I'm sure she still is pretty. I don't mean to say that in the past tense because it's kind of rude. Oh, yeah, she was pretty. She was. Okay. Yeah, watch Chip insert foot, or open mouth insert foot. And I don't know if my wife will remember that couple. I don't want to say their full names. Last name was Brown, and they were our kids' primary teachers in church years ago. And I don't know if you'll remember them or not. But if not, we can talk about it later, Miss Chip. But always good people. Okay. Okay, let's get to the next story. Okay, guys, batten down the hatches. This one is a weird one. Indeed. Okay. Gwyneth Griffins of, I cannot pronounce that, Wales, turned 102 years old recently. And she only had one wish for her birthday. A stripper. The Hawthorne Court Care Home where she lives was happy to oblige her with a butler in the buff. Okay. 102 years old and Granny still got it going. Griffiths, or Gwen, the birthday girl, I heard, oh, there it is. I heard something drop. She has dementia. But her son Peter says she's become feisty and fun in her advanced years. She wouldn't say boo to a goose as he was growing up. About the stripper, Gwyneth told her son, I hope I get a cheeky pinch of his bum. The centenarian also has a weekly wedding to imaginary friend Dr. John, for which she gets her hair done and dons a tiara. When Peter told her she'll be turning 102 soon, she argued with him and said, no, I'm not. Look at my tits, not a wrinkle. Okay, my response is party on, Gwen. Whew. Feisty grandma there. I'm not sure. Look at my tits, not a wrinkle. That is a direct quote. I did not make that up. She really said that. I don't really know if there is a proper response after that. There is a few more stories that I have, I could tell. Okay, wait a minute. Oh no, that's right. Okay, I thought I did something wrong, but no. Just had to stare at the instructions for just a second. All right. I think I'm starting to like wedge plates. If you guys watch my reviews, I usually say I don't like them, but I'm starting to like them just because how they're being used in sets to make these weird kind of angles, are not really weird, but unusual, unique. Okay, we have our first mini figure. And our first mini figure is this young little schlep right here. There you go. Looks like he's a cook of some sort with his apron and all. We'll set him aside. I'm sure he'll come in handy later. Let's go ahead and move on. All right, let's get to our next story, just because we should. Okay. All right. Weird in the wild. All right. Yeah, I thought this one was a little wild myself. Okay. If you're trekking through the Namibian desert in Namibia, oh, I can't say that, and you get a little thirsty, that's not a problem. According to the Oddity Central, about a 20-minute drive from the main road crossing the desert is an unexpected oasis. A pink solar-powered refrigerator that's full of cold drinks and a little table with 2 chairs. Drinks are provided free of charge. Okay. I'm liking the sound of this already. Of course, I know they're not alcoholic, but the government's tourist board installed the fridge in the spirit of hospitality. Fridge is restocked several times a day. Okay, a little weird. We'll admit. Not exactly my first thoughts on the issue, but, hey. Hydration is important. In fact, I need to take a swig of my water over here. Just reading that made me thirsty. Desert. I live in a desert, the Great Basin Desert. But I'm pretty sure things are a little more established here than they are there. Oh, shoot. I'm not trying to throw things around, but sure, why not? Let's throw things around. Okay, got another story. Irony. I like stories that start with the word irony because they're going to be ironic. At a difficult campground in White River National Forest near Aspen, Colorado, camping is taking on a new look. The Forest Service has banned camping in tents or other soft-sided structures. Okay, but that kind of defeats the purpose of camping altogether, doesn't it? Okay, but they say they have a reason. What is that reason? Blame it on a black bear. Okay, all right. During the night of June 9th, a curious bear pawed at a tent with 2 children under the age of 12 inside. The material of the tent was punctured, but the bear did not go inside. Okay, scary stuff. I've had my own encounter with the bear. I'll tell you that story after this one. The children didn't tell their parents who were sleeping in a tent next to them until the next morning. Wonder why. The kids were totally fine. They were not traumatized. Campers using tents were relocated to other campgrounds. The order is to remain in place for 2 months. Well, when I lived in California, if there was a bear that was attacking humans, they often tranquilized it and moved it to an area where they would not encounter humans. I think it's obviously, even in remote areas, getting harder and harder as the Earth gets more and more populated. But there you go. There's that one there. Relevancy is currency. Hello, Mayo. How you doing? Okay. Okay, I promised to tell my story about my own encounter with the bear. I never actually, well, okay. I actually did see the bear. Okay. Because there's 2 parts to the story. All right. So we went camping as a scouting troop when I was probably 13, 14, maybe even 15. I don't remember exactly. And we backpacked to the backcountry of Yosemite to Hetch Hetchy Reservoir. And I did see that pop up, by the way, Mayo. I did not watch it yet, but I did see it pop up in my feed. So I will watch it. So, okay, we went on this camping trip. And on this camping trip, it was a little weird because I was asked to get water. So I went to a creek. And the way the trail was, is it turned at last minute, a really sharp turn, and there the creek was. So I went up, made that sharp turn, and right there at the creek was a brown bear. And, well, the bear stood up, didn't roar at me, just stood up on 2 legs, looked at me, and the thing went the other direction. I did not get water. I went back to the campsite, told the scoutmaster he had a gun, and he went with me back there, and we got the water together. Not exactly my finest moments. I will admit I probably, pissed myself because, well, it's quite disconcerting to see a bear. And later that same night, I was asleep, and when I woke up, I had put a Bible inside of a plastic bag, like a gallon-sized bag. And I did that on purpose because I wanted the. Boy, that's not really working out. Why not? Oh, so I needed a second one. Okay, let's fix that. So I'd put the Bible in a gallon-sized bag, left it on a log, and when I left it on the log, what had happened was, in the middle of the night, a bear came, and a bear claws went like this, but it was just big enough to go around the Bible. Didn't damage the pages of the Bible, but it did puncture the bag and left little marks in the wood, the log. And because it happened probably earlier in the night, it ended up getting water in the on the Bible, and of course, when a book gets wet, it'll kind of absorb it and kind of expand. And that's what happened. It didn't ruin the Bible, but it did have to be dried out, and it did get dried out. So yeah, thank you, Mayo. I am dead set on that. I don't want to give away the particulars of what I'm going to do, but I do have plenty of ideas. I need time and I need money to accomplish them. The money part is hopefully I've got that figured out because I found a job, so that's going okay. And then that job doesn't pay that much, but it does pay, and it does help. And then I have the prospect of another job that pays even better than the job that I got. So there is a very strong possibility that things will just work out, and I am looking forward to it. Wow, they really went all out on this chocolate machine, didn't they? Look at that. They want 7 of these chocolate things. That's 3. They give me 8 of them. I'm going to stick the last one in there. Why not? It's extra. I like that. That's pretty cool. Okay, just in case you're keeping track, we are on bag number 7. I do have yet another News of the Weird story, so let's get to it. Okay. Questionable Judgment, this one's called. And boy, when I read this one, I wasn't quite sure how I'd feel about it if my kids were involved. But okay, let's get into the story. The York Catholic District School Board in Vaughan, Ontario, has relieved the bus driver of their duties after inappropriate behavior that was reported on June the 17th. Okay, well, it's not what you think. It's not that bad, but it is bad nonetheless. So let's get to what he did. It all started with the video posted to a social media of a parent confronting the driver who had placed a sign in the bus's front window that said Lolita's line. He was asked by the school board why he calls his bus the Lolita line. And also the parent asked. And in the video, the bus driver was dressed in a schoolgirl's uniform. Anybody getting creeped out already? And the school bus driver responded that Lolita was a 1955 novel about a professor who kidnaps a 12-year-old girl. The bus driver responded that he does this every week and he doesn't think there's a problem. Of course not. Nothing to see here. Keep moving. Okay. The school board, however, did not agree with them and did perceive there was a problem and brought the incident to the bus company's attention, assuring parents that the driver will no longer provide housing to and from, that the bus driver will no provide, they assured that the driver would no longer provide busing to and from the school. Okay. Weird stuff. What the heck? Mayo, good question. Mayo says, how is the building going? The building is going very well. I am experimenting with different companies for their LED lights. I got a China company first, and that's because the lights were given to me. And I like the lights because they're dependable. You plug them in, they work. What I don't like about them is they're not very flexible, and there's no extenders or anything. It's just you have to place the connector kind of in the middle of where you want it, and you can put up to 10 lights on it. But it's not very flexible. I tried a different system that's here in the US. They are cheaper than the China one, actually, but so far I'm not too impressed with them. I'm going to reach out to the guy who sold it to me and let him know and see what his response is. And if his response is a positive one, then I guess there's not a problem. What is the problem I encountered? Well, I plugged in one of the 6-inch wire LED lights. And when I first did it, the light came right on and then it burned out right after it came on. It was only on for a split second. If I would have blinked, I would have missed it. So I took a second light bulb, plugged it in. And that was kind of scary, even though it's a small little LED thing. What ended up happening was the light came on for a split second, started smoking, and then popped and burnt out. The third time was the charm. I was able to plug in a third light, and it's still working. But 2 lights are out, and they're like $2.50 a piece, so that's $5. It's not a whole lot of money, but I would prefer if, and I haven't reached out to him yet, so I have not given him a chance to do anything yet because I just found out last night late. I would like him to replace those because, well, when you buy new, you should get new. And because I haven't given him a chance to respond, I'm not going to name the company. It's not fair for me to name the company until I give him a chance to make it right. And who knows? I mean, maybe it's just an honest mistake and it's a manufacturing defect. And I'm hoping that the guy is just like, hey, real sorry about that. Here's 2 new lights, and sends it to me. That would be the ideal outcome. And I will give him that chance. So I'm not going to name names because, like I said, not fair until the guy has a chance to fix it. And if he does fix it, there's no reason to really name his name. You know what I mean? Or her name, whatever. The company. But building-wise, it is going well. I moved over the custom cafe, the sand green one, over to the new section of the city on the beach. And I had to take the building partially apart because I wanted to add 2 LED lights on the inside. Those are the Chinese ones. And I was able to add them in there. And the building is over on the new section. And in addition, oh boy, I messed this up. This is going to be hard to get to. Oh, no, it won't. In addition, when I flipped it over, I put the Technic plates on the bottom of the floor because the connectors are small enough to fit through there. And I'm actually going to silence my phone because oh boy, Miss Chip, your sense of humor. I'm just kidding, guys. She's making me proud. Well, I am a little afraid because using the light kits, the way that I'm doing it, I'm hiding the wires within the builds, like using Technic bricks with holes and stuff. So if they burn out, the only way I'm going to be able to get to them is by taking a massive thing apart to get to it. So I have a sneaky suspicion if they burn out, I'm not going to be doing anything with it. But yes, I have been working on it quite a bit, actually. I'm going to order some more parts so that I can continue building and extending. And I've got the 2 brand new wind turbines still in the box, the big Vestas one. And so I'm going to have a total of 6 wind turbines. And just because I don't favor environmentalism over anything else, I don't favor either side. I've got this. I'm going to have the 6 wind turbines. And then I'm also going to have an oil rig, offshore oil rig. And that way, I'm sure to piss off both sides of the aisle. I've actually looked at some pictures of some oil rigs, as well as I have a cousin who's worked on oil rigs before, and I've talked to him a little bit to get some ideas on what to put on there. Of course, there's going to be a helicopter landing pad and all that good stuff. But I got some ideas from my cousin, so and some pictures. And I'm sure Mrs. Chip can assure you that I like pictures. All right. Oh, I did extend the sewer by about 25 studs. And that I did last night. The video's not out yet on that. It will be out sometime this week. And I don't remember if I mentioned this, but thank you everybody for your Bricklink orders. It gave me enough money to buy 2 bags of insulation. And a friend of mine is coming up here to visit this week, and he has already offered to help me. So we will be installing those 2 bags of insulation this week, as well as finishing the electrical in that wall. And when we're done with that, we'll have a fully insulated wall with electrical brand new and done properly this time. Why do I say that? Because the previous owner did it improperly and scared the heck out of me when I opened up the wall and looked at it. God dang. Just to think I used that electricity in there. So I had to tear it all out. I'm redoing it. So, oh, grabbed the wrong piece. Miss Chip will say I do that too. No, I'm just kidding. When you move buildings like the cafe, make sure you document those changes. Oh, okay. Yeah, sure, man. You're right. That wouldn't hurt anybody to make sure of that. I did actually, now I think about it, because I showed, yeah, I did. Like I said, I've shot the video. I haven't edited it, and it's not released yet. It will be released sometime this week. I got a lot to do in my city, so yeah, okay. I'm going to turn this around so y'all can see it. You guys can see the backside of it, you know, where it's got the vat and it's got the mixer machine and all that good stuff. And on the front side, we have the beginnings. And I love how it's not a straight line. I love the curves, angles, and all that stuff. It looks really good. I'm going to grab another bag, and this is bag. I say grab. This is bag number 8. And I'm sorry, I cannot speak. English is my first and only language, but I can't even speak that. Oh, I also worked on the cliff wall as well. I added 2 hollow places for the wires to go through, and you will, I did point them out in the video where they're at, but when I'm done, you will not know where they're at unless you watch the video, because it's well hidden. And that's the whole entire thing. I know it makes it harder to replace the bulbs when I do this, but I don't like the wires being exposed, because I want the whole entire thing to look like it's Lego. And anyway, that's just my personal preference. And it is hotter than a firecracker up in here. And also, Mayo, we've kind of talked about this before, and that is Australia and how it can be a dangerous place. I heard that there are like gas station oases when you get more towards the populated areas up in the north, that basically they're only there because there's nothing for miles, and they're there basically as an oasis because there's no towns, there's no nothing. And I was just thinking about that. That has got to be just rough if you're going to be doing some long distance traveling. In the U.S., we've got a few places where when you're on the highway and it's like, oh, another 20 miles to services, meaning a gas station and all that, but it's never really that bad. 20 miles is not that bad, and I don't really know of any places that have more than that. So, Yeah, and you know, I will say this in defense of, and not that you're asking for an explanation, but I'm just going to say it here. When it comes to doing such things, I actually believe in renewable energy to a point. And again, I'm not going to get into all that. And I think wind turbines and solar powers and solar panels is not a bad thing at all. Um, but my city is to represent the real world, and that's just it. So whether I agree with something or not, it's going to be in my city. And an example is I don't drink. In fact, I've only my whole entire life had two alcoholic beverages, and that was on my 20th wedding anniversary. And that's the only time I have ever drunk at all. However, I already have a martini bar in, well, it goes with my stuff that travels to shows. And eventually I'm going to place it in my city. I'm probably going to have other bars. I plan on building a strip joint. I've never been inside of a strip joint, gentlemen's club. Never have. But just because I don't see the use in them in real life doesn't mean I won't have it in my city, because I want it to. I want it to represent what happens in real life. Oh, wrong place. Let's put that on the top. And not only that, I guess kind of the other reason that I do stuff like that too is that the world's so diverse, and there's just so many people that have opposing views and different views in this world, that I want my city to have something in there that represents different walks of life. And that's the other reason I do it too. Like, I don't even like coffee, and I just don't like the taste of it, but I'll have a coffee shop in my city. I don't care. This is a very in-depth set. My goodness. I love the detail to it. Okay. Let's throw this bad boy on there. Oh boy, I ruined the machine. Let's see if I can fix her up. What the heck happened? Oh. Okay, well, silly me for thinking that would work. Let me, oh, geez, stay on there. Legos? Legos are evil. You touch one thing and 60 things break. Okay, I don't like this at all. Okay, well, this fell off again. This is not cool. I'm going to have to figure this out. It's at the right height. It's just they have the studs off, and it's supposed to connect to these round parts instead of in between the round parts, and it's not cooperating. So let's see if we can. Yeah, see, that's not going to work because I'm seeing that it's off just by a hair. Oh, oh, ho, chip saves the day. All right. I like this. I like how they put the ventilation thing on here. That's so cool. Okay, so we are done with bag number 8. We're on to bag number 9. I got 2 more bags, and then I'm going to call it a night. which means we'll be going for we're already over a little an hour. Wow, I am struggling up here, guys. It is hotter than a firecracker up in here. I really mean that. And I don't even have socks or shoes on. I'm doing everything I can to be comfortable. I'm wearing shorts. It's just not working. Iowa I-80 truck stop is what we have, but on steroids. Some freeways bypass towns and have truck stops nearby. Some freeways go dozens of miles between exits, so they have truck stops small. Some have towns only. Okay. All right. Well, that's kind of similar to what we have here. Sometimes there are towns small enough that there isn't anything but the town. There's no services. It all depends on where it's at. All right, we got chocolate bars in the mix now. Looking good. Exists as rest stops for refueling in the outback. As a city boy, I find isolated truck stops disgusting and take pity on ghost towns that their economy is 100% dependent on motorists. Yeah, I mean, I hear you on that. Where I live, we're not dependent 100% on motorists, but when you get towards the town's not really big. It's only 2,299 people, and when you're right up against the freeway, yeah, it is dependent upon that because you got 3 gas stations right up against the freeway and a restaurant, and that's really about it. But then you get in other parts of the town away from the freeway, and we've got a hardware store, we've got a pumice mine, we've got a 2 auto repair shops, you name it. We've got a lot here. Not terribly a lot, but a lot. And it doesn't all depend upon motorists, although right up against the freeway it does. And we have a grocery store too. I forgot about that. And we have a swimming pool, a gym. Yeah, I think we're pretty diverse here. And actually, we are about an hour and 15 minutes north of here is a ghost town that's been completely preserved. And I want to go see it. And one of these days when Mrs. Chip is here, we'll drive up there. We're going to go see it. Wow, I am sweating pretty good, guys. Not that you really want to know that, but I'm going to tell you. I do have another story for you, so let me get to it. Time to switch over and do yet another News the Weird. I think this is the last one. Yes, it is. Okay. This one is titled Rules That Don't Apply to Me. Ooh, boy. Some people just, okay. All right, let's go with this story. A 42-year-old man sustained a gunshot wound in his back on June 15th. All right, what was he doing? Well, on that day, he and his friends rode bikes through the Central Catchment Nature Reserve in Singapore. Nobody was hunting him. He was riding in an area restricted to the public and reserved for the Singapore Armed Forces live firing activities. Okay. All right. So right away, we know we have somebody who's at the bottom of the food chain because, you don't. If you know the military has a shooting range, I think you stay away from that, especially because military bullets are far more. I don't want to talk about that too much, but yeah, the weapons are different and they're more lethal. We'll put it that way. Several large signs in the area read, "Do not go beyond this point, live firing area, keep clear." And there's plenty of danger signs with the illustrated skull and crossbones. Okay, so we know the guy should have known to stay the heck out. And it says, at the time of the shooting, the Singapore Armed Forces was conducting an authorized live fire activity. The man underwent surgery to remove the slug and is in stable condition. Okay, what is that called? F around, find out? I think that guy effed around, and I think he found out. Or as my dad used to tell us as kids, you play stupid games, you win stupid prizes. And that was one of my dad's favorite things. And then I came up with this with my kids. Like if my kids would hit their head on a cabinet or something, or just something silly, I used to tell my kids, "Well, nobody told you to do that." So I would say to this guy, "Nobody told you to do that." Kind of weird. I mean, why would you? Nothing good can become of that. And when I used to live at Fort Belvoir, there were signs everywhere, and it would say "Stay on marked trails," and that's because the area that we lived in used to be a live firing range for tanks. And occasionally, a piece of ordnance unexploded ordnance would rear its ugly head after heavy rains. So we were told to stay the heck away, but sometimes people didn't there either. So you got to feel bad for them. Yes, I am almost done with this session. I've got one more bag after this, and then I'm calling it a night because I got to edit some videos. And tomorrow I am going to have my what do you call that? Series 4 is going to be coming in the mail, according to my tracking. And if that's true, I will have another live stream tomorrow night. And it will be of a different set. It'll be of Series 4. However, do not fret. I am not going to abandon this. Oh, okay. Let's get this done. I will not abandon this set. I will continue it somewhere in between my busy schedule. We will get it done. And this one here, I'm not even sure how I'm going to fit it in the city, to be honest. I don't know. I guess it's just one of those when I'm building the build. I don't really have a purpose for it. So, yeah. Let me catch up on comments here. Mayo says, "I call those truck stop ghost gazos because they're service stations in the middle of nowhere or near a town by the highway. Some towns only exist to support farmers trucking to grain silos on railroad." Yeah, that sounds pretty crazy, pretty whacked. Okay, so I think I might have made a mistake here. Let's see. I gotta slowly scroll up because these, yeah. Oh, yep, I messed that up. Okay, my bad. Let me fix that real quick. Let's get it. Get scrolled back down to where I was at. And yeah, this is the point where my computer's starting to complain because this file's pretty big. Oh, there it is. And that is my only complaint about these sets, is that they don't give you paper instructions. And FAFO is correct. I don't want to say that on the air, but yes, that is completely correct. FAFO is paying the stupid tax while like jumping off a cliff when your warning signs tells you not to. Or in more modern application is getting too close to the end of the cliff to get a great selfie only to fall off said cliff. I actually heard a story about that. Anyway. I was actually watching a channel that I really like. It has like creepy pasta type stories, if you guys are familiar with those. And it was a story of 23 people that got stranded on an island in the middle of the Pacific that really didn't have much to it. And they were stranded for 7 years before being rescued. A really interesting story. It started off as being legit. The Mexican government sent them there to colonize the island. And, well, the Mexican Revolution broke out. And once it did, the revolutionaries sunk the ship that was resupplying the island. And when that happened, the monthly trip out there kind of got forgotten. And the government forgot about them. They were actually eventually rescued by an American warship that just happened to be going by and noticed them. But really tragic story, to be honest. And I'm trying to remember the name of the town, but I don't remember it off the top of my head. It's now a French island. It's been turned over to the French. This build was good. Hey, Janet, how's it going? It is good to see you, my friend. Yeah, have you got any of your Series 4 in the mail yet? Mine are, according to the tracking, supposed to be here tomorrow. So I am so looking forward to that. And for some reason, this thing is, there it goes. It's being really difficult. There we go. Imagine we're going to do the same thing on the other side now. And I'm actually getting ready for it. It's just this thing's slow because my computer can't handle the PDF file. I guess it's time to upgrade my computer, right? Oh, dang, that's oh, okay. Well, yeah, it's one more bag, guys, and then I'm gonna put this live stream in the bag. She says, doing good. I got the siege encampment and forest stronghold today. Still waiting on the boat. Okay, the merchant boat. Yeah. Well, sweet. I'm going to build all of them on live streams. I was able to get one of each. Okay, this thing, it's got so many compartments that open. It's kind of annoying. Okay, let's see. 3. Thank goodness we're closing one of them right now with this hinge. There, that's not going to flap anymore. That's what I'm talking about. That's more like it. Okay, we got it all. The Scholar one looks pretty good too, Janet. I don't know. We'll see. It shall be interesting. And I do like the little bit of snow touches up to this. I think it really adds to it. Okay, my lack of sleep is catching up to me at about this time, about this moment. Okay. Oh, I messed that up completely. It goes down here. Okay, let's fix that. I will turn this around in a second so you guys can see exactly what I'm building. Um, all right, see you later, Mayo. Um, Mrs. Chip, did you? Thanks for being here, Mayo. Sorry, by the way, Mrs. Chip, did you know they're making a Ratatouille Part Two? That should be, yeah. Um, did not know. I liked the first one, and it'd be interesting to see how they're going to add on to that story. Um, do you know when that's coming out? Pardon me. Like I said, I did not sleep properly. Janet says, I think this one is great in a modular city or a Christmas village. Yeah, I could very easily see how you can convert this to a modular or, like you said, freestanding in a Christmas village. Yeah, or winter village. Yeah, I think so too. Not really a bad idea. I am planning on having a winter section because in my city, because I've got just so many winter sets. I'm not really sure what to do with them. Okay. Well, this is certainly coming along, in my opinion. And I'm sorry, I'm out of news of the weird stories for the week. I could always go back last week because I didn't finish it. I do like news of the weird. I think it makes this really interesting. No, I don't. It just said 2025. Okay. All right. Well, be on the lookout for it then. And oh, there it is. I think it's funny how they use this swirly right here on the end. In some sets, they've used it as dog poop, and now we're using it as chocolate. So, and like any most Lego pieces, it depends on your perspective. Depends on what exactly the piece represents at that moment. Wow, that is a lot of chocolate. It's making my sweet tooth hurt a little bit. Now, if the sets come in on time for me to do a live stream tomorrow, I will do a live stream of that. If it doesn't come in time, maybe I'll just do part two of this one. But regardless, there's going to be a live stream tomorrow night. And there's going to be a release of the city video here soon. Like I said, I need to order some parts, but I've got enough to keep going for the moment. But I need to think ahead because, well, sometimes it takes a week or two to get parts, especially if you're ordering from Lego.com. It can be a lot longer than just a few weeks. It's coming from their Danish warehouse. So, okay, we got that. Make sure we have everything. We have our first sticker, and this is where I'm a little upset with Lego. The sticker page is extremely bent up. In fact, one of them already came off before I could use it. I don't mind Lego having stickers per se, but on a set this expensive, I don't think they should be using stickers. I think they should print them, and I think that if they're going to use them, they should make sure they're not all bent up. It's kind of disappointing to spend this much money on a set and have it all bent up. Okay, what do we got? Let's take a look. So we have the chocolate, the art of chocolate. We've got a great front here with steps, steps, steps. We got chocolate in the window. We've got a really cool in the back. I love how it opens up like this. I love this chocolate mixing machine. We got a chocolate vat there. And we've got some more areas here for processing here. Just a really cool set so far. We are only 10 bags in. There are 31 bags, which means if I keep to my schedule, that'll be 3 live streams. And hello, Greg. How you doing? It's good to see you. We're wrapping up here, but Greg, it is good to see you. And so like I said, if the Series 4 comes in on time for me to do a live stream, I'll do one of those. If it doesn't, we'll do part 2 tomorrow. Tuesday, if I do start my new job, which I'm unsure about, I should be getting off at 5 o'clock. If I get off at 5 o'clock, then I can do a live stream at 6, my normal time. So it just really all depends how things go. I have to play it by ear a little bit. But thank you for being here, guys. Hit the like button. If you feel like I've earned your subscription, hit the subscribe button. Leave me a comment below. Let me know what you think of this. Let me know if you've gotten it. If you have gotten it, have you built it? Let's talk about it. And turn on all notifications. That way you'll know when I put out a current video. All right, guys. Be good to each other. Stay safe out there, and gals, guys and gals. And I'll catch you guys on the next one. Have a good one.